She sacrificed herself to shield a predator cub, only to awaken in an alien domain. This is the story of Mira, and how one act of kindness changed the fate of two species. Mira had always known the Great Plains would kill her one day. Everyone in her village knew the risks. Hunting caravans vanished, and the nights roared with unseen beasts. But none of that explained why she was sprinting across the dirt with a predator cub tucked under her arm. The cub screamed, a shrill cry that rattled her bones. Behind her, its mother came thundering after them, a wall of muscle and teeth, tearing furrows into the baked earth. I should have left you, Mira thought, her legs burning, but she hadn't. So, the hunters from her caravan had wanted the cub for sport. Mira had seen too much pointless killing already, and to her, humans did not kill children. Not even alien ones. She leaped over a rock cluster, nearly tripping. A massive paw slammed into her side. Pain detonated through her ribs as she was thrown into a boulder. The cub tumbled from her grasp. The mother was descending on it, poised to strike. No! Mira screamed. She threw herself over the small, trembling creature, curling her body around it. Then, a claw like a scythe crashed down. The world went dark. She inhaled sharply. The air was clean, cold, metallic. Mira coughed, blinking. She wasn't dead. Gone were the grasslands. She lay on something soft, like a medical foam bed. A voice came next, smooth, resonant, and layered with electronic harmonics. She wakes. How unexpected. Standing before her was an alien tall, armored, shaped roughly like a humanoid wolf with metallic plates grafted into its body. 4 golden eyes watched her, and next to it, the cub, alive. Mira pressed a shaking hand to her ribs, expecting shattered bone. Instead, she was whole. What happened? She whispered. The alien's head tilted. We retrieved you. He tapped his chest plate. I am Vaelar of the Shield Dominion. Commander. Mira's brain struggled to process this. You saved my life. Sehasket. No. Vaelar's voice dropped. You saved mine. The cub trotted forward, nudging her leg. Mira's throat tightened. That cub is your child. Vaelar nodded once. Zii'ren. My only spawn. We saw you shield him with your body. You chose pain over allowing harm to reach him. Mira swallowed. Any mother would. You are not his mother, Vaelar interrupted, nor his species. Your kind are not known to ours. You had no reason to intervene. Mira just shrugged. Didn't need a reason. Vaelar stared at her. Humans are dangerous, he said. Ferocious. Instinct-prone. Primitive. But none of our intelligence explained this. He gestured to her. To leap into certain death for a young not your own. You performed an act of great honor. Over the next few days, Mira learned what alien domain truly meant. The Sheerkill vessel was a behemoth of metal forests and glowing corridors. Zii'ren, the cub, followed her everywhere, bouncing behind her, nibbling her shoelaces. One day, as she fed him, Vaelar sat across from her. You shielded a Sheerkill child while your own kind hunted him. Mira's expression darkened. My people aren't perfect. No species is, Vaelar replied, but few would have done what you did. Human behavior profiles rarely include self-destructive altruism. Mira snorted. That makes us sound like idiots. In some ways, yes. But in other ways, remarkable, Vaelar finished. The cub chirped and shoved his face into her palm. She laughed. He likes me. He imprints strongly, Vaelar said. I suspect he thinks you are. Pack. Just then, Alarms blared. Red light bathed the corridor. Vaelar rose instantly. Intruders. Human signatures. Her caravan had come for her. In the command deck, Vaelar explained. They think you were taken. Let me talk to them, Mira said. Vaelar's jaw clenched. He looked between his child and the human girl who had almost died for him. Very well, he finally exhaled. In the docking bay, Mira stepped forward alone, palms raised. Easy, she called to the armed guards. Nobody here wants a fight? Captain Howard glared past her. What did they do to you? Saved me, Mira answered. Because you idiots tried to kill a cub. It was a child. She yelled. Silence fell. Zii'ren trotted out from behind her legs. Howard stared, horrified. You? Bonded with it. Mira knelt, placing a protective hand on the cub's back. He bonded with me, and I'm not letting anyone hurt him. Howard looked between her and the aliens. What do they want? He asked. Vaelar answered, his voice resonating through the bay. Peace. And the life debt fulfilled. Your human saved my son. In return, she has a place among us. Howard looked at Mira. You coming back with us? She hesitated, looking at her people, then at Vaelar, and then at the cub nuzzling her hand. I think, Mira said softly, I've found where I'm needed. As the human shuttle lifted off, Vaelar looked at Mira. You chose us. Mira smiled faintly. You're not so bad. Zii'ren yipped triumphantly. Vaelar gave a rumbling, amused huff. Then welcome to our domain. And so Mira, the human, became pack. She found a new life among the stars, proving that even the fiercest species is capable of astonishing kindness, and that sometimes the greatest strength is found not in fighting, but in protecting. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like and subscribe for more tales from across the galaxy. 3 months after I joined the Circle pack ship, the first real sign of trouble came. It started with a tremor in the hallways, but it wasn't the ship. It was footsteps. Lots of them. I was in the training hall with Zii'ren, the little predator cub I'd rescued, when the alarms blared, a low, vibrating pulse that made Zii'ren's fur stand on end. Vaelar, my commander, burst through the doors, his armor lit with warning glyphs. Mira, with me. Now. I ran after him, Zii'ren skittering at my heels. What's happening? Vaelar's jaw was a razor line. A Dominion patrol found a drifting vessel. It was Shirecool. A silence heavier than metal fell between us. Dead, I whispered. All of them, he said, his voice dropping low. But the board is... Mira, they were torn apart from within. My pulse spiked, some kind of internal detonation. Vaelar shook his head. Not a machine. Something alive. He told me Command suspected a new hostile species. Predatory. Intelligent. He said the patrol reported one of the bodies was still moving. Not dead, but gestating something. Something that wasn't Shirecool. He showed me a grainy hologram. A creature crawled through a corridor, a silhouette of bones and tendons, skin stretched wrong. Its head was a mass of fused armor plates. It wasn't walking. It was hunting. I felt the air leave my lungs. That thing came out of someone, Vaelar nodded. We suspect the organism infiltrated the ship, grew inside the crew, and used their biomass as a shell. That's not a parasite, I whispered. That's a nightmare. The worst part. The patrol only saw one. The rest vanished. My human instinct screamed one truth. Whatever these things are, they're coming. The ship entered full combat protocol. Red warning stripes lit the walls, and weapon bays opened like metallic fangs. I took my position in Tactical Bay 3, among towering Shirko soldiers who now greeted me with nods of respect. Vaelar stood at the central holostation. Threat classification: apexed, unknown. Behavior: parasitic, adaptive, invasive. He paused, then looked at me. Humans might understand this better. You've studied predatory ambush creatures. All eyes turned to me. Okay, time to be useful. I stepped forward. This thing doesn't just grow in a host, I explained. It restructures the body while the host is alive. It adapts instantly. It's fast learning, and it's hungry. Always hungry. It will need new hosts constantly, not for nourishment, but for survival. A soldier snarled. Why destroy the host if it needs them? I explained that the host becomes a shell. When it's spent, the creature discards it, like an insect shedding its skin. Vaelar grimaced. Then the organism is larval. The room went still. If that was the larval stage, I said, the fully grown forms could be much, much worse. Vaelar was determined. Then we must find its origin and stop it. I asked where the patrol found the ship. He said a name that sent a chill down my spine. The Scar. The Ravonse glided toward it, a massive, swirling rift in space. A wound of black and blue energy that made my vision blur, just looking at it. As we crossed the threshold, the ship shuddered. Lights flickered. Gravity pulsed. Zii'ren whimpered and pressed against my leg. It's okay, I whispered, holding him close. We're pack. We stay together. Suddenly, a voice from the sensor pit shouted, Contact! Something is approaching fast. No energy signature, no life signs. On the main screen, a shape drifted out of the misty distortion. At first, I thought it was debris. Then it rotated, and I saw the mouth, a ring of jagged spines around a hollow, consuming void. Fire! Cannons! Vaelar roared. Blue energy beams slammed into the shape, but instead of shattering, it screamed, not a sound, but a psychic tearing that stabbed into my skull. Zii'ren screeched in agony. The creature lunged, straight for the hole. Impact in 5 seconds, a soldier shouted. The ship rocked violently. Metal buckled. Lights exploded. It was inside. Smoke filled the corridor as we ran, a guttural shriek echoing through the ship. That thing got inside. I yelled. And it is not alone, Vaelar growled. We reached a blast door. As it opened, a Shirka corpse fell through, its chest cavity torn outward. The corridor beyond was dark. Silent. Too silent. Vaelar ignited his plasma halberd. I grabbed a fallen shock baton. Then, something dropped from the ceiling behind him. A mass of limbs and bone plates, his torso splitting into screeching mandibles. Without thinking, I lunged with the baton. Electricity cracked as it struck the creature's flesh. It screamed and hurled itself at me. I dove, and it slammed into the wall. Vaelar appeared like a comet of fury, his plasma blade slicing its head clean off. He grabbed my shoulders. Are you injured? No, I gasped. Intact. His expression remained grim. That was a young one, he said. The mature ones. Do not use claws. We reached the ship's central reactor. Hundreds of smaller creatures swarmed like a carpet of flesh, converting the ship itself into a biological hive. Soldiers fought desperately, but for every creature they killed, 3 more spawned from ruptured bodies. That's when something inside me snapped. I grabbed a flare cannon and fired point-blank into the swarm. A blast of burning plasma incinerated dozens. I kept firing, screaming, for the crew, for your people. For Zii'ren. Vaelar fought beside me, a storm of plasma and steel. Together, we pushed forward until silence fell on the smoldering battlefield. The reactor was safe. Zii'ren climbed onto Vaelar's head, chirping triumphantly. I laughed, breathlessly. Your kid's braver than half your army. A smirk tugged at Vaelar's muzzle. He takes after me. But his expression hardened. The hive end withdrew, he said. It was testing us. This was only the beginning. Later, Vaelar found me staring into the swirling abyss of the Scar. You're too valuable to risk. My jaw tightened. And leave you. Leave. Zii'ren? He asked me quietly. Where does your loyalty lie now, Mira? With the pack you were born into? Or the pack you chose? Primera. Looked at. The Rovansa limped out of the scar like a wounded beast. Its hole scorched. Its corridors scarred with ichor. Half the crew was injured. A quarter dead, but we were alive. Barely. I moved through the med bay, exhausted but steady, checking on the soldiers. I knew them now, not just as crew, but as family. As my pack, I placed a hand on a warrior named Shirik, who'd taken a chloric across the chest. He bared sharp teeth and a weak smile. Human, you fight more fiercely than a broodmother. I'll take that as a compliment, I told him. Vaelar entered, with his little cub Zii'ren perched on his shoulder. Mira, he said, the Dominion's High Council has convened. They want a full report. I wiped the blood from my hands. About the hive creatures. And about us. He paused. About you. You are the first human to fight a scarborne organism and survive. They want to know how. I just snorted. Simple. I refused to die. We arrived at Ox Station Jarrell, a ring-shaped fortress orbiting a gas giant. Vaelar told me it was the oldest Shirkal outpost, built for defense, archive, and judgment. When we dokayed, an honor guard greeted us. I could feel every eye on me, some in awe, some skeptical. After all, I was an outsider, carrying a title reserved for their heroes. Jericho. The outsider who protects, but I walked forward, spine straight. In the vast council chamber, a towering elder with white fur and emerald eyes leaned forward. You are human, he said. Your species is not known for strategic subtlety, yet you survived. Explain. I stepped to the center platform. How I survived? The answer's simple. I was angry. Humans are stubborn. We're emotional. We don't think straight when our people are threatened. I gestured to Vaelar and Zii'ren. This is my pack, and anyone that threatens my pack dies. The elder narrowed his gaze. You acted with ferocity. But without calculation. That is chaos. I just shrugged. Chaos wins sometimes. Before I could say more, Vaelar stepped forward. Enough, he growled. She saved my son. She saved this ship. She held the reactor alone when 3 squads fell. If she chooses chaos, then perhaps chaos is what we need. Just then, a hologram flickered to life, showing data from distant probes. A storm of strange shapes was growing within the scar, multiplying combing for us. The elder's voice trembled. This is impossible. No, Vaelar said. This is war. The War Council convened immediately around a massive hub. Look, I said, pointing at the display. These things don't move randomly. They're forming patterns. These clusters are hives. They're gathering biomass, and when they reach critical mass, they'll strike. A commander asked. You propose we strike first? Yes, I said. We can't wait. He asked, where? I pointed to a swirling region inside the scar. Here. The weak spot. Vaelar blinked. How do you know that? I didn't. Not logically. It was just a gut feeling. No, I said. The room erupted. Instinct is not strategy, but I explained the movement patterns, the heat signatures, the way they thinned out in that one area. It was unstable, like a nerve center. It was their brain. The emerald-eyed elder finally spoke. If she is correct, a strike there could cripple the hive mind. Vaelar placed a hand on my shoulder. My vote is to follow her strategy. One by one, the commanders raised their claws until a majority was reached. The elder nodded. Then it is decided. Mira, human, of the you will lead the initial assault. I just blinked. Wait. What? Vaelar smirked. You did say chaos wins. Sometimes. In Tianga, they fitted me with modified Shirecal assault armor. Vaelar handed me a human-sized plasma glaive. A pack gift, he said. I smiled. Thank you. He looked at me, his eyes soft. I trust you. But the scar devours even the fearless. I lifted the glaive. Well, let's hope it chokes on me. For the first time in history, human and sheerkill fleets flew together, launching toward the scar. Stay focused, Vaelar's voice said in my earpiece. Trust your instincts. I always do. As we plunged into the churning void, I announced over the wide channel. This is Mira. We go in fast. Hit the nerve. Cut off the brain. The battle exploded instantly, but I ignored it all, my eyes locked on the weak point ahead. Follow me, I shouted, diving my ship toward the glowing mass. That's when the hive mind revealed its true form. A colossal, living station of bone and sinew. A voice echoed in my skull. Feed. Grow. Consume. Hit it with everything. I screamed. The fleet abbot, but the fortress did not fall. Instead, it opened, revealing its core. The true brain. My instincts screamed. I armed my entire payload. Vaelar, I yelled. If I don't make it, you will, he growled. You must. I smiled. Save a place for me when I get back. Then I locked onto the core and dove straight into the heart of the hive mind. Welcome to the Dominion, everyone. I am so thrilled to have you all here as we build this incredible community around the HFY saga, to make sure our space stays as awesome and welcoming as a Nova-class starship. We've put together some guiding principles inspired by Mira, Vaelar, and the entire universe we love. Think of these as our community's prime directive. First and most importantly, respect all species and all people, just like humans, the Shireco, and every alien in the Dominion. Everyone here deserves respect. That means absolutely no harassment, no racism, no xenophobia, and no personal attacks. Seriously, if Mira can face down a cosmic hive mind and still treat her allies with compassion, so can we. Let's make this a place where everyone feels valued. Next up, let's avoid any hive-mean behavior. We're all for passionate discussions and collective brainstorming, but let's not gang up on others. No dogpiling. No encouraging mob behavior. This is a story, a community, a place for creative minds to come together, not the scar. We're here to build, not to swarm. Let's keep our conversations healthy and respectful, even when we disagree. When it comes to feedback, let's be constructive. Think about how Vaelar gives Mira advice. It's honest, it's helpful, but it never tears her down. That's the vibe we're going for. Whether you're discussing a fan theory or someone's fan fiction, offer your thoughts in a way that helps them grow. No insults, no toxic comments, and definitely no "your writing sucks" energy. We're all here to learn and improve together. A big one: keep this space safe from spoilers. We all get excited about the latest chapters and want to discuss what happens next. But remember, not everyone is plunged into the hive core at the same time. If you're discussing future theories or revealing key plot points, please, 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 use spoiler tags or give a clear warning. Let's give everyone the chance to experience the stories, twists, and turns for themselves. Now, let's talk about content. Our hive creatures are scary enough, right? We need to avoid posting anything overly disturbing or explicit. That means no graphic gore, no explicit sexual content, and no posts just for shock value. A good rule of thumb is, if it wouldn't be allowed on YouTube, it doesn't belong here. Let's keep our community a safe and comfortable environment for everyone. Creativity is the lifeblood of our community, and we absolutely want to see your amazing work. Fan art, rewrites, story expansions, wild theories. Love it all, but it's crucial that we always credit the original creators. Whether it's an artist or a writer, make sure you give them their due. We have a strict no stolen content policy. Let's celebrate each other's talents properly. A core principle here is to be like Mira. Courageous, not cruel. We want you to bring your courage, your passion, and your boundless creativity to this space. But cruelty has no place here. This is a community where we lift each other up, just like Mira lifted Zii'ren out of danger. We're here to support one another, not tear each other down. Let's also try to stay on topic. Our focus is on the HFY universe, the story parts, the world building, the characters, the sci-fi themes, and of course, the theory. We know that conversations can sometimes spiral into other topics, and that's okay occasionally. But let's try not to let them become full-blown hive-in. Keep the main channel of communication clear for what we're all here to talk about. Regarding spam and self-promotion, the Dominion Council wouldn't just allow random, unsanctioned transmissions, and neither do we. If you want to promote your own YouTube channel, your Discord server, your writing page, or any other personal projects, please ask for permission from the moderators first. We want to keep the space clean and focused on community discussion, not unsolicited ads. A very important rule: protect the younglings. Just as Mira fiercely protected Zii'ren, we must ensure our community is a safe place for younger members. This means no targeting minors, no sharing personal information of yourself or others, and generally maintaining an environment where everyone, regardless of age, feels secure. If you see something that makes you uncomfortable or that goes against our guidelines, please report it. Don't try to handle it yourself or escalate the situation. You don't need to fight the hive alone. Our moderation team is here to help. Reporting issues allows us to handle them quickly and effectively, keeping the community safe for everyone. And finally, remember to have fun. This is, after all, a story community. We want you to let your creativity run wild. Speculation. Go for it. Fan rewrites. We'd love to read them. Alternate endings. Bring them on. OC aliens. Introduce us. Meme edits. Absolutely. APC. Let your creativity flow like the Scarbat, you know. A lot less murderous and a lot more fun. This is our shared sandbox. A place to explore and expand the universe we all love so much. So that's it. Those are the pillars of our community. They're all designed to make this the best possible place for fans of the HFY saga. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Your passion and creativity are what make this community so special. I can't wait to see all the amazing discussions and creations you all come up with. Let's build something incredible together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates from the Dominion. Mira closed her eyes. The world fell away. Everything light, sound, gravity collapsed into a single point at the center of her skull. For a heartbeat, there was nothing. Then, she was falling. Through darkness so absolute it felt alive, through whispers that slithered across her skin, through memories not her own. Voices coiled around her like smoke. We remember you. The wound. The fire. The one who divides. Mira clenched her jaw. Yeah, hi. Miss me. The hive laugh was a sound without sound of vibration that crawled down her spine. You return. Good. We have learned much from your pain. She pushed deeper. The darkness parted, and a landscape unfolded. A towering neural forest of black spires and glowing veins. A world built from thought, instinct, and billions of entities. Thinking as one, Mira whispered. The mindscape. The hive mind at its center hovered a shape, a massive silhouette, feminine only in outline. A face without eyes. A crown of tendrils. A body made of shifting biomass and memory. The Queen. The Queen's voice pressed directly into her thoughts. You are not the strongest species. You are not the wisest. You are not the first we have fought. Mira folded her arms. But I'm the first you feared. A ripple of agitation echoed across the mind. Fear is a tool. We do not fear you. We study you. Your kind is interesting. Mira's lip curled. We aren't lab rats. You are a pattern, a defective one. You fight without logic. You sacrifice without reward. You destroy. While dying, the queen tilted her head. We do not understand you. Mira grinned coldly. That's your mistake. The queen reached forward. A tendril made of light touched Mira's forehead and Mira screamed. Memories tore open. Her childhood. The first time she lost someone, the burned scars on her arm. The sound of her mother's voice. Every moment of terror, joy, grief, defiance. The queen recoiled violently. This is chaos. Mira staggered, panting. No, she spat. It's humanity, the queen hissed. We see why you threaten us. Your pathetic resilience infects, spreads, contaminates purpose. The neural forest convulsed. We must remove you. Mira raised her chin. Then three. The queen surged toward her and Mira reached out with her mind. Not to block, not to flee. To connect. The ancient cocoon technology pulsed inside her brain. Alien energy. Human instinct, a psychic bridge made of incompatible parts. For a heartbeat, a fusion sparked. Mira felt everything. The hive's hunger, its grief, its history, its endless cycle of consuming and becoming. She whispered, You're dying. The queen froze. We do not die. Yes, you do, Mira said softly. Your species is ancient. You've been closing in on extinction for ages. The scar isn't expansion, it's desperation. The neural forest trembled. Lies. It's the truth, Mira said. You're not invincible. You're cornered. A silence deeper than vacuum filled the space. Mira stepped forward. You don't want to consume. You want to survive. The queen trembled. Survival. Survival is purpose. Then stop attacking. Attack is survival. Mira shook her head. No. It's extinction. For both of us. The queen tilted her faceless head. Why do you care if we die? You are not of us. Mira breathed. Because life doesn't have to be a zero-sum game. The queen recoiled like Mira had struck her. You speak. Madness. No, Mira said. I speak hope. The queen whispered. Hope is impossible. Mira smiled faintly. That's what everyone says before a human proves them wrong. For a moment, the hive mind trembled with something Mira had never sensed before. Doubt? The queen asked. If not war? Mira reached out her hand. We can help each other. A long silence. A thought pulsed through the mindscape. Help is a risk. Trust is a fragile thing. Trust starts with choice, Mira said. I'm offering one. The queen hovered inches from her. Her voice shook for the first time. You would choose this. Over war. Yes. The queen extended a tendril. Mira extended her hand. Their minds touched and a blast of agony tore through Mira's skull. We accept. The queen's voice twisted, becoming sharp, hungry, triumphant. We accept your sacrifice. Black tendrils surged toward her. Mira's eyes widened. You liar. Consumption is cooperation. We become one. The tendrils wrapped around her mind, and she felt her consciousness fading into the hive. The queen whispered triumphantly. We learn from you. We take your strength. We end your kind with your own resolve. Mira screamed, but the hive drowned her out. Consume. Grow. Evolve. Her vision darkened. Her thoughts blurred. She was disappearing, becoming one of them. Losing herself, until a voice pierced the void. Small, familiar, terrified. Mira, Zii'ren. His voice wasn't in her ears. It was in her heart. Mira's eyes snapped open. She caught the tendrils in her mental grip, and she snarled, "I am not yours." The queen's voice shattered into a screech. "Impossible." "No," Mira hissed. "Human." And she ripped herself free. Mira's body convulsed. She gasped. Her eyes flew open, and Vaelar was holding her as alarms blared across the station. "Mira," he shouted. "Talk to me, what happened?" "What did you see?" She coughed, grabbing his armor to steady herself. "The queen," she rasped. "She wants total domination." "She lied. She tried to take my mind." Vaelar's eyes burned with fury. "Mira, you still yourself?" She hesitated. Her vision flickered once, twice, and she saw two worlds at once. The station and the hive. She whispered, "Mostly." Vaelar's hands tightened protectively on her shoulders. "What do you mean, mostly?" Mira swallowed. "I broke the connection. But a link remains. I can feel where the queen is hiding." "Where?" Mira lifted her gaze to the scar. Her pupils thinned into slits. Her voice changed, echoing with two harmonies. "One jump away." Vaelar stared at her. "Mira, what are you?" She inhaled slowly. "Something new." She looked out at the swelling forces gathering at the edge of the sky. Her voice hardened. "And we're out of time."